Hello and welcome to another Matlab tutorial. In this tutorial I'll explain how to use if and switch case operators. And for this I'll write a script that prompts the user in the command window for a certain input, and depending on the user's input the program will have a different outcome. So to define the user's input, I'll type a equals input, and input is a function that will prompt the user in the command window and will prompt option question mark, and I'll also add s as an argument, option, sorry, and I'll add s as an argument so that Matlab knows that the input will be a string. So for example, if a is equal to the string 1, like this, I'll make the program say hello world. So if cmp, it's a function that compares two strings. In this case it's very useful, and I'll say 1 here, and so if it gets into the if cycle, it will write a sentence called hello world. So I'll save the program and I'll run it. Option, I'll type 1 and it will display hello world. If I run it again and type, for example, 2, which is not an available option here, it will not get in the cycle and will not say hello world. So for example, if I wanted to some other sentence or do some other program, if I didn't type 1, I do else, and in this else, everything else will happen if I don't type 1. So for example, this everything else. So if I'll run it again, as you can see, option, I'll type 1, it will still say hello world. If I run it again, option, and type, for example, yes, it will say everything else. If I, for example, type quarantine, it will say everything else too. Okay, I'll just clean the command window. Now, what if I wanted to make another condition? So what if I want option 2? So instead of using else, I'll use else if. So strcmp, and here I'll use a and 2, and instead of everything else I'll say hello Mars. So I'll run it again, and option, if I type again 1, it will still display me hello world. If I type 2, it will say hello Mars. Now I can do again the else here, and once again, if I don't type 1 or 2, it will go to the else part of the program. And let's put again this everything else. So let's run it again. I'll just type something and it will go to the else option. Now say I wanted to use numbers and not a string, so I'll delete this part here, and instead of this I'll type, for example, if a is equal to 1, the condition should be a equal 1. If a is equal to 2, it should be equal 2, and the else stays as it is. Now I'll run it again. Option, if I type 3, it will go to everything else because there's no option number 3. And if I run it again and I type 2, it will give me this error because, once again, it is expecting a number this time, not a string. So this time I'll have to make sure that I'll type a number and not a string. So if I type, for example, 1, it will go to the hello world part. If I type 2, it will go to the hello Mars part. Now, if I want to make a selection between various options, this is not the best way to do it. There's a more readable way to write such a program. And I'll delete this part for now. And such a program should be used using a switch case condition. So I'll type switch case. So the switch case condition should be used as follows for the same program. So here I'll insert the variable a, so switch a, in case between brackets 1, case the other option was 2, and instead of else I'll use otherwise. So the program will now do exactly the same thing if I add disp hello world and here hello Mars, and in otherwise every else. So let's run the program. So option, for example 1, it will still say hello world, 2.4 everything else, and option number 2, hello Mars. So why would you want to use a switched case instead of a if condition? If, for example, you have a lot of options, I could have plenty of options here. For example, I could have options 3 and 4, and I'll say here quarantine, in here coronavirus. So if I run the program again, so I'll have option 1, 2, 3 and 4 to choose now. And for example 4 would give me coronavirus here, and 3 would give me quarantine. So this is a much readable structure than if I wanted to do the same with ifs and else if conditions. This is everything I wanted to talk about switch case and the if condition. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and hopefully I'll see you in another video.